All right, guys, here we are on Scrap Station. The last map choice, the last chance for our Zerg player here in the yellow. The last chance for Slush. And at the top of the map in the 12 o'clock position is our Terran player, currently up 2-0. It is Complexity QXC.
I remember how this was like such a crazy map for a couple of reasons in TVZ. One, it was because if anything could be considered a macro map, early on, this was close to it because, oh, you could split the map in half, you could take the hidden goal, you could get some long games here.
Yeah.
And there was the other one, it was like, oh, the walk distance is so long, you can't early pool, so you're almost forced into a macro game. And
you have to make a hatchery.
I know.
The thing
Unless
is,
you did one base Muta, but
yeah, exactly. And Mutalisks are a decent possibility, not the one base variety, I would say, but
right.
The two-base variety are quite likely, I would say. The close positions by air make it very tempting for Zerg to do that, but QXC is going to be tempted to maybe think about going gas first, maybe think about going Banshees on this map.
And so here is Slush's base, and we'll take a short little journey, and that's QXC's base.
What do you know?
The distance by air, as you can see. So yes, drops, Banshees, any sort of airplay for Zerg. Very, very popular here. Looks like Slush is going to go hatch first.
With this map, way back in the day, like in the early days of this map, you could actually, if you were Protoss, blink from your main to the island, and then blink from the island to the other main.
Oh, yes.
You actually could do that.
Yep.
You used to be able to just blink across there. Yeah, you can see it. It's even, it looks like it's close enough. It may even still be close enough, but they took out your ability to do that. So, yeah, some crazy stuff. I love these old maps. I mean, they just had so many of those like crazy fun things with it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, despite some of the results that we've seen, you know, things like that, you know, Zerg players, I'm sure, are shedding some salty Zerg tears here. But, you know, all the players that we've talked about that agreed to play in this are all excited about doing it. You know, they like having fun on the old maps.
Well,
it's nice.
This is an extremely wide ramp that goes just into the main. The other interesting feature here, of course, so QXC not able to supply or to wall off with the conventional 2 supply depots and barracks.
That used to be scary, actually. As a Terran player on this map, whenever you got this map on ladder versus a Zerg, you were like, oh my gosh, this ramp is so wide. If I need to wall this off as soon as possible because there could be Zerglings coming at any moment. This map was terrifying, man, if you were with a Terran player back in the day.
And we'll see how QXC wants to react now. He already does have a reactor and a factory coming up, so it may be a reactor to Hellion expand.
Reacting,
or at least reactor to Hellion
with
for
a reactor?
Yes.
You think? Is that what's happening here?
I imagine so.
Yeah. Hellions are quite good on this map, of course. They can cover distance quite quickly and also burn Zerglings, which is kind of nice.
Always a nice touch.
A bunker.
Yeah, QXC putting down a bunker up the front. He already rallied a couple of Marines across the map. Not any serious pressure. Wanted to force more lanes out of his opponent, but Slush being very patient and just going right back into droning and producing queens.
Yeah, that's right. This is actually a map where we could see a little bit longer of a game. It's possible.
And looks like kind of crazy position of the supply depots there, needing to full wall that off, of course. And it is a reactor Hellion expand. His opponent Slush, on the other hand, we'll see if he wants to play a little more like Leenock 2-base style, 4 gas quickly, go up to layer tech, or if he's going to try and go for a little bit riskier 3rd base on this map.
You know, you bring up Leenock, and early on in Leenock's career, he was one of the Zergs that usually did very well on this map, actually. He was known early on for his Mutalisk play, and this is a good map for it. So yeah, I think playing like Leenock would be a great decision for Slush right now.
And we'll see, though, as
what are those queens doing?
Spine crawlers being added on. Protecting against Hellions, man.
You're not big enough to block this ramp.
Well, there are a couple of Hellions making their way out. We'll see if QXC decides to run on past. There's actually 4 queens out on the field right now for Slush. So very serious about his defense there. One drone does go down. No Hellions have fallen, though.
Yeah, good defense so far for Slush. Hellions not really able to do a whole lot other than singe a queen or 2. QXC is still making Hellions, so he's got 2 out. He's got a 4 out, rather, with 2 more on the way. He's making Marauders and getting Stim behind this, so this is going to be some big-time Marauder Hellion aggression.
Yeah, and it looks like QXC looking for an opportunity to either sneak on through. And it looks like he will. He's going to get himself a couple of drone kills here. Already 6 have gone down. He could get quite a few more.
Oh,
my God.
Slush.
He was doing
so well.
Yeah.
He was doing so well, but the Hellions ended his dreams and
That's
hopes.
true.
Well, at least the ones for those drones. Well, and look at that. 2 of them still get out. Oh, look at that. That Hellion has actually more health than Ken did at the end of that Street Fighter clip. Wow.
That's
maybe even less health.
I actually know, and sad thing is, you know, I may not have watched much Street Fighter, but I actually know the Street Fighter clip you're
anyone
talking
who's
about,
into esports knows about the comeback clip. It's just one of those clips, you know.
I'm sure Rob out there is Jedi Rob sitting outside is probably proud of us right now. But
maybe.
Let's see here, though, as 4 Hellions still remain as a pretty good threat, and Slush, you know, pretty far down in supply, especially at this stage in the game. Really wanted to be powering ahead with those workers. Would be sitting on, for comparison's sake, 49 workers had he not taken any losses.
Yeah, it's still slightly ahead in the worker count, but it could be better. Doing a little bit of scouting now with that Overlord. He does see the tech lab on the barracks as well, so that should give him a good idea that there are Marauders on the way. In fact, I believe he saw a couple of those
saw
Marauders.
A lot of those, so.
Yeah.
Let's see here now as QXC has to back away with those Hellions, though. The Roach the Roach is in pretty good position. Nice job hiding the Creep Tumor behind the gas fence. It's a solid touch.
Yep. All right, so here's the thing, is that by forcing Roaches, Slush is actually playing right into QXC's hands, honestly, because the Marauders are going to do quite well against the Roaches. The Hellions do well against the Zerglings. That's the idea behind the build. A lot of Roaches on the way here for Slush. If he can fight at the Spinecrawler, he may have a little bit better chance, but this is such a strong attack coming from QXC.
Yes, it is, and he's sitting on 7 Hellions and 4 Marauders at the moment, continuing to add on multiple Marines at a time now, also teching up to his starport. Looks like it's going to get a reactor here in just a bit. May decide to even do a little bit dual-pronged attack with a drop through the main as well.
Oh, Slush is expanding to the gold base down at the bottom, too, taking that Ninja Gold expansion. Good decision. He's got QXC distracted here with attacking him, I guess you could say. A lot of Creep Tumors going down, and
yeah, a lot of active Creep Tumors as well.
Yeah, will Slush defend?
We'll find out. He's got a fair number of Roaches. He doesn't want to back QXC into that base, of course, because QXC doesn't have an idea.
Oh, look at this. Slush going through the middle of the map. He may be able to surprise QXC here.
This is, we've seen this happen a couple of different times now, as the Marauders are actually making their way back. The Hellions are sitting over by the Xel'Naga Tower, but who knows? I don't know if that's going to be enough. This is a lot of forces for Slush.
If he can split up QXC's army like this, if he can take it on one chunk at a time. Oh, Slush has got to be happy.
Yeah.
And can't go into the main base, but he does have enough to surround that bunker. Oh, that's a lot of bio, though, up the ramp from QXC. The Hellions are coming back as well.
Yes, they are, but the Hellions are kind of caught off by themselves, and they die very, very quickly.
Yeah, man.
That is still a lot of bio out for QXC, but Slush was able to partition off that army and do some pretty good damage.
Yep. Roach is going for the natural expansion right now, and QXC, he's got a good amount of bio here to defend, but will it be enough? Where are the reinforcements from Slush?
I don't know. He's not sending any through right now. He is making another 11 Roaches at the moment, but it's not going to be enough to drive off this first army. QXC does lose quite a few bio forces, but the entire army of Slush is wiped out.
Yeah, no kidding. That leaves him vulnerable for counterattack, and oh no, the rally allowing some of the Roaches to get killed here. All QXC really needs to do is stim a Marauder or two, and he can catch a few more, but no, he's actually just going to play it a little bit more defensively.
And Slush is on 36 drones now. He's transferring quite a few down to the gold, so we can start mining off of that for the time being.
That'll definitely help a little bit, but QXC's coming fast and coming hard with a big army.
Yes,
that is terrifying.
Yeah, and let's see here now. I don't know if that's enough initially, especially with the quick reinforcement from Slush. Pretty good scan to clear out the Creep Tumor. It's always so annoying to have the Creep going all the way through that middle spot there. 3 active Creep Tumors, though, from this Queen. Very proud of her work sitting over the active Creep Tumors off the right-hand side, and Slush will be able to start building that creep down there very quickly.
Doesn't want to turn out like the other Queens. That's basically just how it is. Family Nest on the way there for Slush, so that's going to be pretty good for him. He's making a lot of Zerglings here now. QXC still has not found that gold base, but I think he's going to go scout it now.
Yeah. It looks like he actually knows. He may have seen a unit try and come up from that before, because he's going to attack that head on, but he may lose a lot of his production inside of his main at the same time.
This actually isn't too bad for Slush. He's quite capable of trading this third base here for QXC's production facilities. That's not bad. Oh, the building lift. QXC having to reposition here a little bit.
Could we see the lift to the main? It looks like we are. He picks up 8 of those SCVs and a medevac, and he's got to get that orbital command out of here in just a second.
He's going to the island. And, yeah, Slush doing some damage with the roaches. Big Zergling attack at the natural expansion as well, taking out a lot of SCVs here.
All right, well, Slush may find his way back into this. He did lose his main, though, so he's needing to kill a couple of bases at the same time. A big drop from QXE doing considerable damage. QXE retreating with all of his army. A lot of medevacs, not a huge amount of frontline forces,
He lost his starport as well, so all these bio units are more or less trapped here.
Yeah. And let's see if there's enough there for QXE to hold this off. Does he stop? No, the upgrade finishes.
Yep. Yeah, does finish in time here. The other command center relocating to the main, or maybe it'll just go to the island as well. Who knows?
And let's see, you know, Slush is going to need to get another base up pretty quickly here. QXE has a lot of firepower in this. Some of his forces still killing the buildings from QXE. Slush doesn't have a ton left on the field. QXE with pretty good control here, but does he have enough?
I don't know. It's 42 supply to 64 right now. QXE does clean up the army, but Slush is really reinforcing fast with a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, and he can actually go and just kill that army whenever he wants to now. QXE is going to need to lift off to defend it, trying to re-expand back to his main again.
This is a very scrap station game, I have to say.
I know. This is why these maps are so good. Ooh. It's fun. When's the last time you saw an island used? In StarCraft 2?
Yeah, well, it's
been a while. I guess
the
answer would be Tournament of Champions. It was used by somebody.
Well,
somebody recently, actually. Can't remember who. But anyway, yeah, Slush continuing to try to do some damage, kill everything he can of QXE's. QXE has an army on the map, but Slush has enough to deal with it now.
Yeah, it looks like Slush was still actually going ahead and long-distance mining from the gold. Oh, no! Yeah. Putting down a hatchery just as QXE drops in.
I hope he cancels that. He does. Okay. Wow, that's relief because Slush does not have a lot of resources right now, and here's the drop from QXE. Slush in position to defend, though.
Yeah, just needs to bring his units away, and QXE is going to have to pick up and go home, and indeed he does. Loses maybe
3 queens there, man. That medevac's getting a little bit low.
Yeah, it is. Very low, and that's the one that has all the units inside of it, but looks like it will be able to get away.
All right, so let's take stock of the situation. Both players on one base right now.
Yes.
QXE on the island with both his command centers.
He's supply blocked.
Slush at his natural, getting his second lair of the game here.
And he is going to re-expand to his main.
Okay. All right, that's okay.
All right, looks like QXE just wanted to pick off a couple of creep tumors there in the middle. Lair Tech is almost finished up as well, so we may see Slush go to some heavy Mutalisk play or something like that in a bit.
You know, Mutas would be okay. Is QXE building, does he have an engineering bay or anything at the island? He does not, so he won't have any turrets. Slush could harass quite a bit, and there's the Spire right away from Slush. He knows what he can do, and Slush is in a great position here. All he needs to do is defend against the possibility of drops and also just expand everywhere, which is what he's doing. Taking a third base here at QXE's old natural expansion.
Might as well, you know.
That's right.
He's going to start taking some bases off to the left-hand side of the map.
Look.
QXE continuing to patrol around with one of these medevacs.
It's a good idea.
We'll actually be able to catch up on the Zerglings going after the destructible debris, so he'll know to check for these expansions. At the same time, QXE coming in with a drop. Banelings do not have speed, but QXE is still going to lose a lot of forces. Nonetheless, he does. Well, let's see here, though.
Look at that.
Ooh, the Queen's starting to go after those medevacs now. So close to killing yet another medevac.
QXE with a really nice move there, dropping off some Marauders on the Banelings as well, trying to just make his opponent waste the few precious resources that he had. Good idea by QXE there, but Slush is back in action, man. He's got twice the bases. He's got plenty of money saved up, and he's going to be able to make a lot of Mutalisks. I would say 7. Or maybe, maybe
30 Zerglings.
Maybe 30 Zerglings and 7 Mutas later on. Or 1. Maybe 1 Mutalisk.
Not a lot of free larvae.
A Mutalisk.
He did make a Mutalisk.
A Muta.
Well, he knows he needs to defend against this drop right now, and certainly a smart decision. And looks like he's going to be able to start pushing those forces back. Gets a pretty good hit on a lot of Marines, and QXE needing to retreat back now. He did put up another engineering bay, so we could see some missile turrets here in a bit, but of course,
there we go.
QXE, man. This is very scrap station.
Never give up, never surrender.
Yes.
If you're not attacking, you're losing. These are both things that QXE is known to say. There soon will be 80 mutas on the map, though. And you know what? Slush doesn't even need to attack QXE with that. All he needs to do is patrol and make sure that the medevacs don't go anywhere with those mutas. So Slush is actually in a great spot right now, despite how things look. Despite the look of the game, Slush is doing great. Oh, and he might get some medevacs right here.
Yeah, and it's going to force QXE to fight this out. He's going to try and target down a couple of these mutas, but now the mutas have free reign. They can pick off this full medevac. It would be devastating, but no, that island is only mere seconds away, and the Marines can already defend.
Yeah, the Marines can basically shoot the mutas from the island, no problem. And there's the infestation pit for Slush. You know, Broodlords, of course, could do quite well against the island expansion.
Of course.
Can't really go anywhere there, so... Oh, that's nice. Break down the rocks, you get to transfer your drones quicker. It's pretty good.
Solid play.
30 supply ahead right now for Slush. Could we be seeing a comeback in the old map tournament right now?
That would be awesome. We already know that Lost Temple is out of it, so we'll be curious to see if Slush ends up taking this game, what QXE is going to do. Looks like he's trying to re-expand. I hate to tell him that that's going to get picked up on pretty quick.
Yeah, it certainly will. The Zergling does see it right now, and Slush, I believe, does have enough units to go and deny this immediately. Got to be careful with those mutas, but once he gets his ground forces in position, he should be able to stop the mining.
QXE has a pretty good turret ring going on now, so not a lot of energy saved up, so he's not going to be able to call down a ton of mules right away, just one from his island expansion.
Dude, you know Broodlords are actually going to be so good on this map because there's so much open space to fly.
Yes.
QXE doesn't have enough money to make a lot of Vikings or a Ghost per se as well because of this. Slush, though, I think he should have enough to break this.
High Tech is coming up along with +1 air weapons as well. And yeah, he should have enough. Bailing speed is finished up as well. Using two Bailings on one Marine.
Wow, that worked out pretty well. QXE immediately loading up. Yeah, he's going to need to make a run for it. Knows he can't fight, and oh man, is he going to lose this command center? No, he's not, because the mutas are pacifists. Okay, there we go. Now they're attacking the command center.
Yeah, they just wanted to get past. There's no way they'll be able to kill it, of course, but want to do as much damage as he could. QXE trying to drop at the same time back to Slush's old main, now re-expansion, and pulling some units out of position. Maybe
he's going to get
the spawning pool at least.
And the hatchery, definitely going to get him. Yep, he does get it. Nice decision by QXE. He's one of the best drop players out there. Oh man, but
he loses a ton of units as well, and he's lost almost all his medevacs.
Oh man, down to just 2 medevacs, lost quite a bit. He is getting +3 weapons for his bio, so they will be quite strong. What's the upgrades right now for Slush?
Let's see. He has +1 weapons for his air. I thought that was a clump of mutas,
Overlord?
not Overlords. I thought it was a clump of mutas.
Not gonna help.
He's got 1/1 for the ground units right now.
Raider Spire on the way too for Slush, so yeah, he is going for Broodlords. It's going to be pretty tough for QXE to defend that.
Yes, it is.
I gotta say.
All right,
it's going to be a challenge.
Well, trying to re-expand once again, but already Slush is there. QXE going to have to pick that back up in a second. No, well, he can't because there's mutas in the air, and a pretty good job of controlling those from Slush to make sure he doesn't lose any unnecessary units there.
Yep. Command Center is going to take a lot more damage here. And Slush, just getting into a better and better spot in this game. The roving medevac still trying to find things to drop and kill. Oh, I think that command center is going to go down.
Oh, it looks like Slush is worried about this drop coming in at the same time, but he does kill. Wow, splattering just pieces everywhere. There's the hairdryer.
Had some distance to it. GG! Corruptors are on the way, and that is it. So QXE taking down